A profound memoir, Wild, From Lost to Found on the Pacific Crest Trail, by Cheryl Strayed recounts her life-altering journey hiking the 2,650-mile Pacific Crest Trail alone from the Mojave Desert to the Olympic Peninsula in Washington state. The book is a metaphor for a difficult journey of more than 1,000 miles, both physically and emotionally. Readers all over the world find solace in Strayed's raw and honest narrative because it speaks to them in their own experiences of hardship or their own quests for self-discovery. This autobiography has done a great service by illuminating the benefits of long-distance hiking for mental health, and has encouraged countless readers to set out on their own adventures. In this paper, we will analyze Strayed's personal journey and the effects of Wild on readers around the world in light of the book's central themes and messages. We'll talk about how Cheryl Strayed's skill as a writer helped transform Wild from an ordinary memoir into a groundbreaking work of literature, as well as her riveting story. The article's goals and organization. The article will be organized thematically, discussing not only the impact and significance of Strayed's writing style but also the central themes and messages conveyed throughout the book. This will help readers have a richer experience with the book and recognize its global significance. The author's struggle, as experienced by Cheryl Strayed. Let's take a break from reading Wild to meet its author, Cheryl Strayed. Strayed, who was born in Pennsylvania in 1968, has always had a passion for reading and writing. She attended the University of Minnesota to study English and began her experimentation with drugs there. When Strayed was 22 years old, her mother died of lung cancer, and she began a downward spiral of grief and substance abuse. She wrote her best-selling memoir, Wild, about a solo hike she took along the Pacific Crest Trail when she was in her 30s. Strayed was able to find redemption and healing on her journey, which helped her become the courageous, strong woman she is today. Cheryl Strayed's upbringing and history. One of the most interesting things about Strayed's book is her account of her own journey of self-discovery and healing while hiking the Pacific Crest Trail. But it's also important to think about how she got to where she was at the beginning of her journey, and how her upbringing and experiences shaped who she is today. A number of factors, including her troubled upbringing in a poor, dysfunctional family, her battles with addiction, and the death of her mother, contributed to her decision to set out on this journey. Strayed gives readers of Wild insight into her upbringing and the circumstances that compelled her to undertake such a perilous journey. Intent behind the Wild composition. In addition to being a story of self-discovery, Wild is Strayed's method of confronting her past and finding peace with it. Strayed was able to process and make sense of the events that led up to her decision to hike the Pacific Crest Trail by writing about them. Strayed's introspection throughout Wild on her upbringing and development serves as a form of therapy. Strayed's goal in writing Wild is to encourage and motivate readers who are going through tough times and to show them that there is always a way forwards. Extraordinary works by the author. In addition to Wild, Cheryl Strayed is a critically acclaimed author of several other noteworthy works. Her first novel, Torch, came out in 2006 and was well received. In addition to contributing to the New York Times Magazine and Vogue, she has written essays for other publications. The publication of Wild was the turning point in Cheryl Strayed's career. After being selected as the inaugural book for Oprah's Book Club 2.0 in 2012, Wild quickly rose to prominence. After Wild, Strayed published Tiny Beautiful Things, a compilation of her advice columns from the Rumpus. Plot summary for Wild. The events of Wild revolve around Cheryl Strayed's account of her 1,100-mile solo hike along the Pacific Crest Trail, which runs from Mexico to Canada. After losing her mother to cancer, battling addiction, and experiencing infidelity, Strayed was 26 years old and at a turning point in her life. She set out on this journey with no hiking experience at all in order to find healing and self-discovery. She overcame numerous obstacles, such as exhaustion, bad weather, and dangerous wildlife, on her journey. By facing adversity head-on, Strayed is able to gain perspective on her life and find inner calm and contentment. Structure of the story. Strayed's narrative in Wild is nonlinear. She jumps back and forth between the present and her past recollections. This approach allows the reader to feel the full impact of her experiences and gain insight into how they have shaped her. Strayed's writing is so frank and unfiltered that it's impossible not to feel compassion for her plight and support her as she fights through it. The memoir, Wild, deals primarily with the emotions of loss, self-discovery, and fortitude. The Pacific Crest Trail is a metaphor for Strayed's own path to self-discovery and healing and growth. Her physical struggles force her to face emotional scars and accept responsibility for her actions in the past. The memoir also discusses how the author found solace and insight in nature and solitude. People and events along the Pacific Crest Trail that will stick with you forever. Strayed meets a wide variety of people along the way, all of whom have an effect on her. Greg is one such person, a fellow hiker who eventually becomes Strayed's friend and hiking companion. Along the way, she is helped by several trail angels who open their homes and hearts to weary hikers. In addition, Strayed has a number of remarkable experiences with various animals, such as rattlesnakes, bears, and a fox who follows her for a while. Discovering solace in the outdoors. A major theme of Wild is Strayed's eventual redemption through her relationship with nature. She finally finds the solace and healing she's been searching for after spending time in the wild beauty of the Pacific Crest Trail. Strayed finds that nature can be both a source of discomfort and relief, testing her mettle while also bringing her peace and clarity. She finds emotional redemption and accepts her past mistakes through her physical journey. The life-changing hike Cheryl took. In the course of her hike across the Pacific Crest Trail, Strayed experiences a profound personal growth on many levels. A new, more resilient version of herself emerges as she overcomes challenges like challenging terrain, adverse conditions, and her own demons. Strayed's journey in nature helps her overcome her demons from the past and find meaning and purpose in her life. Wilderness and solitude have a restorative effect. Among the most memorable aspects of Wild is how Strayed presents time spent in nature and solitude as catalysts for personal development. She learns to deal with her inner turmoil as she hikes alone for days at a time. Strayed is able to think clearly, sort through her feelings, and make peace with her past in the solitude and expansiveness of nature. She gains fortitude and determination from the trail's solitary hardships. Observations of nature and their implications. Nature does more than just help Strayed heal and grow. It also imparts wisdom that helps her navigate the challenges of adulthood. She discovers the value of spontaneity, the reliability of her instincts, and the beauty of a life lived off the land. The story of Cheryl Strayed's hike along the Pacific Crest Trail is a good reminder that we are all a part of nature and can draw inspiration and knowledge from its cycles. Developing oneself and learning about oneself. As Strayed overcomes the mental and physical obstacles along the way, she gains insight into who she is as a person. She figures out how to forgive herself for the mistakes she's already made and accept herself as she is. Strayed finds the strength and resilience she didn't know she had by pushing herself to her physical and mental limits in the wilderness. The emotional and psychological growth Cheryl experienced on her hike is a powerful example of how time spent in nature can have a profound effect on an individual. Defeating one's own demons and traumatic experiences. In her memoir, Strayed courageously discusses her battles with depression, substance abuse, and self-harm. While exploring the wilds, she must also face the personal demons that have plagued her for so long. Her adventure becomes a metaphor for resolving inner turmoil and restoring wholeness. Learning to rely on one's own resources and bounce back. Strayed discovers a fortitude and resiliency within herself she never knew she possessed as she battles the mental and physical challenges of her journey. She gains strength and self-assurance by spending time alone in nature, reflecting and facing her fears. As a metaphor for life, the Pacific Crest Trail. The Pacific Crest Trail is a metaphor for the trail of life, rather than just a literal path. Like us, Cheryl Strayed faces setbacks and victories on her journey, but she also experiences unexpected moments of beauty. In this way, Wild is an inspiring call to accept and appreciate the full range of human experience, from the trials to the triumphs, because they all contribute to making us who we are. Cheryl's trials and tribulations on the Pacific Crest Trail. Strayed encounters many perils and exciting opportunities along the PCT's varied terrain. She faces a variety of challenging environments, from crossing treacherous rivers to braving extreme cold and snow. Her mental and emotional struggles on the path to self-discovery are mirrored in these physical ordeals. The symbolic significance of PCT in the memoir. For Strayed, the Pacific Crest Trail, PCT, is more than just a metaphor for life. Her mother's untimely death inspired Strayed to fulfill her mother's lifelong ambition of hiking the trail. The Pacific Crest Trail, PCT, provides Cheryl Strayed with a sense of closure and connection with her mother, as well as a sense of purpose and direction in her own life. Strayed's memoir serves as a reminder of the value of grit, introspection, and appreciating the good even in the face of adversity. If we are willing to push ourselves and keep moving forwards, there is always a way forwards, as Strayed's story teaches us, even when we feel lost and broken. The Pacific Crest Trail, PCT, is a powerful metaphor for life, teaching us that although the road ahead may be rocky and uncertain, it is also peppered with opportunities for personal development and growth. Wild's ultimate message is that we should celebrate the ups and downs of our own lives because they help mold us into our true selves. Get out there and start your